Well, we've got the Emma and we've got the Grace. Meow.
That's what a gnat in your ear sounds like, guys.
Oh.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to Growing Upstairs. We're so glad you joined us today. Now to your hosts, Noah and Holden. What is up, everybody? Welcome back into the podcast studio. What is up? I definitely moved the wrong slide. That's why the music did not get quieter. I was like, this is not getting quieter. It's hard to do everything all at one time.
That's why you should have let me do the music today.
Hey, welcome into our guest today. What's up, you guys? How are y'all
Grace
doing?
didn't give you a chance to announce the
They're
show.
back.
We don't really need an introduction at this point, I don't think.
No, I think when you just start talking, it's like, oh, okay, there's Grace and everybody that's on there.
Got the whole crew back today.
That's correct. Back from Panama.
Yeah.
We got a lot to
Good
talk
time.
about.
I love how he adds a
We gotta wait on
W at the
Peyton
end
to
of that
talk
word.
about Panama.
Panama.
He does or I do?
You do.
Oh, Lord. Panama. Panama. Wait a minute. All right, so we're here on the podcast studio. We're back at it. Noah, how have things been going over the last week, buddy?
Ooh, it's been wild, man. Been dealing with Riley being sick some, my dog, and having to get him taken care of. But he seems to be getting a little bit better. But other than that, just working. It's been hot. I know you've been out in the heat a good bit with your work, so I know you've probably been out in the heat some.
It's been hot, but we try to go inside when it gets really hot, so it's makes it a little bit more bearable, but definitely hot.
Yeah, but things are rolling. So.
But Riley's doing better though.
Yeah, seems to be getting his step back. He wasn't eating and all that. So, but this morning he seemed to be really kind of picking up speed a little bit. So that's good to see.
Your fur animals, they matter a lot to you.
That's true. Yeah.
I think that kind of goes for everybody. When your animals start feeling bad, you start feeling bad for your
That's
animals.
right.
So.
Yeah, I was stressed out the other day.
I get that. Well, hopefully he continues to get better.
Yeah,
we'll be praying for both of y'all. How about that?
Thank you.
Is that a normal thing to pray for animals?
Sure. I mean, pray for everything.
I was just curious.
Everything.
I didn't know if it was like, my cat, paw or something. You know, need to pray. I mean, need to pray for his paw. He's got something in his paw or something.
My baby goldfish.
It drowned. All right, terrible dad joke. All right, here we go. Start. How about you guys? How have things been going? Gramps, I'm going to let you go last because you got to talk about Panama a little bit when time goes. But Grace, how have things been going here lately?
Things are going great. Had a great week last week. Looking forward to Fuge.
It's coming up quicker and quicker every week.
Great. Yep.
It's going to be great.
Gonna be great. That's all I have.
Huge.
How about you, Miss Laura?
Same. No.
Well, it's been a great podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in.
No, it's been good. It's been busy, but good.
Busy but good. All right, Gramps.
All right, so it's been busy.
Tell us about it.
Ready for our Fuge trip, of course. Had a lot of stuff to take care of before we left for Panama, as you said. We've been to Panama. Our check on our church plant in the country of Panama, Volcan, Panama. So we had a great week, looking good. The church is doing great, but then I'll have to hold up on major details on that because Peyton went with us, and we got to do a podcast with her to really talk about Panama.
That'll be fun.
That's gonna be fun. We also got to get Emma on too. You want to talk a little bit about that? What she's been doing?
She went to SLA. She probably can give more details than us, but that's just like the Fuge camps, like leadership training if you're in high school and you think you might want to go. So she spent 2 weeks there, and we're so proud of her and Pepe.
Yeah, it's awesome. We've got a lot going on, like Noah said, and we've all said every week it's busy, but a good busy. I don't think
a lot of growing in the upstairs.
That's right. We're growing upstairs. Hey, because that's the purpose of this show, right? We're growing with God together, and we talk about Jesus, life, music, and many more things. Which this is going to be many of the more things that we're talking about with Fuge coming up. We've talked about it the past few weeks, and every week obviously it gets closer, but it's kind of one of those now where you can kind of see it in the horizon. It's like, all right, I kind of need to start figuring out packing. Go ahead and start kind of getting that in my mind. I'm that way anyway. How about y'all? Are y'all like ahead of time?
Anxiety. Like I have.
You're the
I'm
newbie.
The same.
You're the
same
newbie.
as
We're
you.
pros. We just packed the night before.
No.
All you need is some gym shorts and some T-shirts.
I will be more
Holden.
worried about us practicing and getting songs ready for you that Sunday before
Well,
than
I
would be
hope
for
by
packing.
then you've packed everything up by that Sunday we get ready to sing and
Might be
everything.
throwing some stuff in the bag. The rest of it in the bag that morning.
Getting ready.
I'll
I
be
will
coming
ready,
in
like,
on
a
two
week
wheels on that
before.
Sunday morning.
What'd you say?
I will be ready a week before. Like, I have packing
Yeah.
anxiety.
Usually, I'll end up packing like the week of, getting everything together. I did end up ordering some more shorts because I was like, I think what is 5, 6, 7 days, something like that. Saturday. Technically, 'cause Saturday we go to
Sunday to
Saturday,
Saturday.
so 7 full days.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we need
6.
half a day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Head out.
So that's a good.
Exciting year with us too.
That's
Biggest group we've ever taken.
Yep.
38.
It's gonna be huge.
We're gonna be whipping the Suburban.
I got the bus.
Or we're gonna be whipping 2 12-passenger vans, or what did they call the carnivals?
Oh no, that was one we had in Panama. The Kia Carnival.
Oh, that's cool.
Or we're gonna have like 6 Suburbans and
We're
pulling in like the
hoping
presidential.
we've got a bus, a 15-passenger van, and my Suburban.
Let's not talk about that. I'll start stressing about it.
I'll
All right, so anyways,
I'll
I'm going
know
to
for
pack
sure
the week
tomorrow.
of and try to get everything ready. Hopefully by that Friday, it'll be like, all right, I'm ready to go, other than I'm going to have to wash some clothes Saturday, like whatever I wear Friday.
Yeah.
Because I'm not one that has like a million clothes, where I can wear stuff every day for 3 weeks straight and never have to wash it. What I wear in a week, I wash in a week. How many times do people leave a pillow or sheets or something like that?
What did the
I don't
Spence
know. We
boys
bring
leave
back
last
air
year?
mattresses that aren't ours and everything. So
I
who
was just
knows?
about to say.
What did the Spence boys leave last year that we had to go get?
They didn't bring sheets,
Or they- yeah.
right? And so we had to go to Walmart and get them some. But then
Oh,
we
yeah.
brought home extra air mattresses that were not
Y'all
ours.
don't let me forget to take them back this year.
On accident. we
Gramps,
didn't
don't forget to
steal.
take those air mattresses back
Thank
with
you,
us.
Holden.
You're welcome. All right, so let's kind of get into some things here. What is your favorite movie right now?
That was random. I don't know.
Right
You guys
now?
have one right now.
Like currently, Inside Out 2. Oh,
Inside
it
Out
was
2.
so good.
Did y'all just go watch it?
Yes,
haven't
I've seen
seen
it
it yet.
twice. It was so good.
I think we're going to take Hudson to see it tomorrow.
You
Matter
need
of
to.
fact.
Good.
I want to
It's
go
so
see
good.
it.
So Inside Out 2. Anybody else got any recent? Mine I
What's
think
a
is
movie?
What?
What's a movie? I ain't seen a movie and I don't know when.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I thought you meant
That
for
that
real.
makes more sense then.
My like raining movie
Oh, sorry.
ever is like Shrek 2. Like nothing beats Shrek 2. Like that's just the best movie.
What is the most current movie that
But,
you've
like, my
watched that
most
you enjoy? Shrek
current
2.
movie? I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen a movie in a long time.
I'm ready for Twisters 2 that's coming
Yeah.
out. That's going to be good. Mine probably right now is like Maverick, the Top
that
Gun
one is
2,
good.
the second one.
Disney has a
Ever
lot
seen?
of good stuff coming out in the next couple of years. So it'll be good.
Yeah, they've got like Moana 2. They've got a lot of the
next
big
part of
ones
the
that are
Lion
coming out.
King. I love the Lion King. That's like my reigning
Hold on, they're
all-time
about to have a
favorite movie.
Lion King 3?
No, they're doing Mufasa. They're doing like a movie
It's
on
a
him.
prequel.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
It literally looks like they took Lion King and made it about Mufasa.
Interesting.
I don't deal with Lion King slander.
Me and Lori talk about this all the time. I
'Cause
think
it's
The
so
Lion King is
hateful.
like the most overrated Disney movie
It is so
ever.
Are
good.
you gonna tolerate that?
No, I don't tolerate it.
Well, let's move faster through this part of this right here since we don't have the favorite movie. What streaming service do you guys use the most, if any?
Oh,
Max.
Max?
No,
That's what it
Hulu.
used to be, HBO.
I'll just say either Hulu, and then there's some stuff I still watch on Netflix sometimes.
I was going to say I must be old school, but she's Hulu. Hulu's what I'm used to.
Hulu.
Probably Hulu.
Hulu.
Peacock. I use it some too.
Yeah, you mean
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's-
actually in with the day's
I'm so
term?
Let's
proud
go,
of
Gramps.
you.
Look at you go.
What,
What is a streaming service? That's what I was kind of waiting on him to say when it came to. So you use Hulu the most, though. Mine's probably oddly YouTube. Mainly
Oh, I watch
because
YouTube a lot.
mainly because we just have terrible.
I have that in
Terrible stuff.
Up Faith and Family right now.
What?
We watched one on there the other day. The Tim Tebow inspired movie, or that he helped write, Run the Race. Y'all ever seen that? That's on there. Okay, all right,
I know
well,
what you're
anyways,
talking about then.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to give any spoilers, so I won't tell you any more about it. But you can go watch it.
Is it a movie?
It's a movie.
I watch TV shows more than movies.
All right, what TV show are you guys watching right now?
Modern
now?
Family.
Didn't it finally just end a couple years ago?
Yeah, I really didn't know this, but it ended in 2020.
Oh wow, 4
know.
years ago. Goodness,
It's another
I did
thing.
not
I would
know
not have
that.
thought that.
It was so good.
All right, this one's a little bit more interesting. If you were stranded on a remote island, what 3 things? I don't even know how to type this. What are 3 things that you would absolutely want to have to be able to survive? 3 things, remote island, 3 things you absolutely want to have
I've got
to
2.
survive.
I can't think of my third.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right, well, Noah won that one. Here we go. Ding, ding.
Water, food, and shelter.
Water, food, shelter. It's good.
A good pair of tennis shoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
We
my
got tennis shoes.
goodness.
Buy a wall.
I could do Lori's.
bottle.
I could do Lori's for her.
Okay, go.
She probably won't.
Let me get a Stanley Cup.
The
No,
good
my
pair of tennis
wallet.
shoes, the Lion King VHS copy, and a Taylor Swift album.
That is a good third one. So I would want a good pair of Hokas, my good water bottle, my wallet, and then a Taylor Swift album, keep me encouraged
Yeah, that's so true.
as I'm trying to get off the island.
That's so
So how are you going to filter the water you put in your water bottle and
If it's
play the Taylor
full.
Swift?
It's
it's
40 ounces, so if
full.
it's full, we'll be good for a little
true.
bit.
Just sip it.
She's just sitting there with a Taylor Swift album, no way to play it. She's like, but I see it.
No,
and I
just
know the
sing-
music that's
yeah,
on there.
Just seeing it. You
And
can
it's
just be
encouraging me.
encouraged. Yeah.
I will make it through. All right, Grace. 3 things.
Okay. My Asics.
Those are shoes too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoes. My Walla.
The water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs her planner.
my Vivance.
Oh,
I'm taking my
that was
Vivance
good.
with me.
All right. Those are the 3 things that we would need to survive. I think oddly mine would be like a phone, and then I want a solar panel charger situation
That's
that I
so
can charge
logical.
the phone, and it's like, all right, now I got a way to get in touch with somebody. But the third thing, I'm not sure.
What if you don't have cell service?
Well, we didn't talk
Good
about
point.
this, but
Good
that is
point.
a good point.
What about shoes?
And it's
You just gonna go
pointless.
Barefoot? What if you step on something?
He's going to run through the rock.
Have you guys not
And
seen-
I've had my
y'all-
tetanus shot, so we're secure. You're
Your
not.
what shot was that?
You know what I said.
Have y'all not seen Castaway?
Wilson.
Volleyball.
Oh, there it is. That's my third thing. A volleyball.
Volleyball.
I'm a Wilson with me. Oh, we go. So those are the 3 things. No, you got anything else?
That's like when the Hunger Games movie, the new one came out, and it was like, if you were in the Hunger Games, what would you want your sponsors to send to you? Like what? Like what
Oh,
would you want
yeah,
your
where they do
sponsor-
that little do that comes floating too. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What would
What
you
you
want
know?
your sponsor
Send
to
me a way out of there.
Get me way out of there. I'll tell you. Noah's like, give me a boat with gas in it and something to
Yeah.
eat on there. What did you the Holy Spirit cheat?
Yeah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Good. Yep, Noah's gonna survive. We're not gonna make it with our water bottles, our Taylor Swift things that you can't, and our Vivance.
I'll make
Did I
up
say
my
that right?
Vivance. Mhm.
I did say that right. Okay, cool. Oh, where can everybody find us if they want to watch or listen out there?
You can still find us on Facebook now, Instagram still, Twitter, and also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and all those other places you like to listen to your podcast at.
And on YouTube. You said YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, my brain is kind of lagging today. I have done 0 with X lately. Twitter.
You mean Twitter?
Grace was
Yeah.
like, here, you can have this back. I was like, okay,
well,
cool.
it's just not working out.
It just,
It's just not it.
it's not the place.
It's not the
I did get followed by Ann Wilson, though.
Guys, leave me alone about that. I really thought
you
it was
for real?
no.
Listen,
thought it was
let's talk
legit.
about this.
I thought it was legit.
Grace sends Noah and I a message, and she goes, guys, you're not going to believe this. Ann Wilson followed us on Twitter. And I was like, bro, that's crazy. Let me go look. And I go and look, and there's like 17 followers maybe, and I click, and there's 2 Ann Wilsons, and I click, and it's like 318 followers. I was like, this is not Ann Wilson. She goes, it's got 4,000 followers. I said, that's that's following, not followers, but
Bless it.
anyways.
I thought it was like her music account and like her private account. Not. I was so excited, and they just crushed my dreams.
I wasn't crushing your dreams. I was like, that's awesome. And then I got over there, and I was
thought
like,
we were about
okay,
to be like famous on Twitter.
it's going to be awesome, dude.
Maybe
That was-
I'll get there.
No, I don't think so. Twitter's not our outlet.
Twitter's just not. It's not the place. But that's okay. All right, got a game for you guys real quick. It's called This or That. We played with. Did we have Cold on last time?
Yeah.
Last week was that was all about Noah's random minute. Last week that was Noah's 40 random minutes. Noah's random 40 minutes. There
Hope
we
you
go.
guys got to pick up on a lot of facts you didn't know you needed to know.
Especially the Billy Goats and having an accent. Did you know that Billy Goats had an accent? When I listened back to that, I really started understanding what you were saying in there. I was like, no, it was serious. Billy Goats actually have an accent.
Yeah.
Like, that was the fact of it. I was laughing so hard about all the other stuff. It right over my head. You guys ever have something like that just right over your head when somebody's talking? Anyways, all right, so here we go. This or that. Would you guys rather use a flip phone or a desktop only?
Desktop computer.
I did that anyway. Well, I guess not all the time.
So a flip phone or a desktop computer.
Desktop computer.
So you're stuck to a desk somewhere, but that's how you use it instead of a flip
Yeah.
phone.
I'd have to say the desktop too, because you're limited with the flip phone. What you can do,
Yeah.
you're only
that's true.
stuck with those on.
But both of them, that's all you
Regular
have though. It's
basis,
not
yeah.
like you get you're at a desktop, but you still have an iPhone. It's either one or the other.
That's fine.
I don't know. I'll switch my mind. I'll need my laptop, so I'll go flip phone. I
Go
guess.
and flip
But
the phone.
if I have a desktop, I don't have a phone.
If you have a desktop, you don't have a flip phone or an iPhone. But if you have a flip phone, you don't have a desktop
So if I
or a computer or
If I
anything
have a
else.
desktop, I can't.
I'd probably
make
go flip
calls.
phone.
Flip phone, I think so, yeah. Because that's what we used to always do anyway. You had a flip phone back in the day. You might have a desktop at the house,
Like
but
get unplugged from all the
all the
social media
things
and stuff.
like Twitter.
I'm so
Now it gets
confused.
tough.
I
It's
am
this
too.
or that. You
I
get
don't
one,
know.
but you can't have the other. I'm going flip phone too.
So you gotta. But wait a minute, you got a flip
What's
phone
happening?
We're lost.
and a
So-
what? You can have a what with the flip phone?
Just a flip phone. That's it. Nothing
That's
else.
it, nothing else.
Or a desktop and nothing else.
Desktop.
Desktop.
Because with the flip phone, you
don't have
can't do
anything.
well. Like you said, no social media, no internet, no anything on a flip phone, right?
I don't know. I
That
think
would
they
be
got
nice though.
to. I think they got to the point where you had internet, like on the flip phone, at one point. I don't think it was like getting on your
My granny's
iPhone.
got
I
a
still
flip
think
phone,
that would
and
be
she does
hard.
a lot with it. So.
Y'all ever heard of the jitterbug? Like it's got 4 buttons. You
Yeah.
can call 4 people.
Jitterbug.
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 Remember that commercial?
Yeah, but that's kind of the first. What is it? Well, all right, this is a funny one.
I'll do the desktop because I've had the flip phone. That's up. You have to press every button
I clicked.
3 or 4 times to get the text.
No, we need to
out
go
and
back
all
to
that.
the phone where you turned it sideways and
Can y'all
popped
imagine our group
Oh
chats
yes,
if we
dude,
all
those
had
are
flip
awesome.
phones?
Yeah.
That would be so.
I know
fun to
you
get
have
a
to
joke
click
in.
7, 8 times just to get to the P. What it?
Yeah.
What,
Wouldn't be able to send any gifts either.
I know that is
Gifts.
probably one of the most fun things.
I love
have
those things.
we have a fun group chat that nobody responds to me. But that's okay. So flip phone.
It's a little
What did you
perk.
decide? Desktop.
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 I have no idea. Just desktop.
Just desktop. I'm
gonna go
desktop.
with that.
I'm going flip phone
Flip
too. Flip phone. All right, next.
So they're out of the loop, girls. It's me and y'all.
Just us.
We'll hold it down.
Hold it down. Oh.
Hold it down.
All right, here's another tough one. All right, would you rather have a day without your phone or a day without people?
A day without people.
Well, that was easy.
I'd say a day without my phone.
Day without your phone.
I'd much rather get together with a group of people and put my phone away than
Yeah.
just hang out with them.
I'm agreeing with you on that. I'm going a day without my phone, so I'll go with people.
Yeah, I'm a people person, so I'll say without my phone.
People.
That gotta make me feel
Grace
bad.
is
That
Grace
makes me
is still
feel
like,
bad
no,
now.
bro.
Grace, don't feel bad.
Grace said, "Nah, bro. I'm still."
You just won't
No
be one of
people.
the people that comes and hangs out with us.
I guess I'm gonna throw a whole kink into it. If I had just one day, people and phone, just get rid of it all.
Gramps
Just
is like,
be me.
I don't need to.
Gramps said, "I'm hanging out at the house all by myself. Y'all just leave me alone."
That's not how you play the game, though. You gotta pick.
Well, I'll take without people with Grace because I can pick
Thank
up the
you,
phone and
Gramps.
call
Thank
somebody.
you.
No people. Well, that's pretty good then. All right, there you go. All right,
Good answer. Good answer.
This is kind of a tough one, especially right now. Would you rather have no AC in the summer or no heat in the winter?
No heat,
No
no winter.
heat in the winter.
You
No,
can always
same.
use a
In the winter.
blanket.
Same.
That's the first unanimous vote we have on there, and I think if we lived up north, that might be a little bit more questionable. But down here right now, that is not.
But you can
Right.
get warm.
But you can like
Yeah.
use a blanket and like jackets and stuff.
Yep. We had this argument with Colt, wasn't it? I said you can get naked and still be hot as it is out here.
For sure.
So, anyways, all right, family band or family TV show? Which would you rather be a part of?
What?
Would you rather be a part of a family
You talking
band
about like
or a
The
family
Jackson
TV show?
5?
Yeah, man, like a family.
start a band.
Yeah, like
Can you imagine if Miss
I think
Amanda was in
considering
a
my
family
musical
band?
talents, I will say
That
the
would
TV
crack
show.
me up.
My family.
What would Mr. Randy play?
the bongos.
My family.
Lion Randy.
Miss Amanda, she would be like the tambourine or something.
She'd be back there
in
just
the
singing
back
background.
corner, hiding behind the curtain because she can't stand to be out in front of people.
That would be too good.
I think my family could have a TV show sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Family,
Mine
so
for
having a
sure.
family TV show.
Reality though.
Yeah.
Reality.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not like Modern Family. Which,
It would for sure be reality TV.
Yeah, it would be something.
Just think about the Brady Bunch right now.
Yeah.
I probably do.
The Upstairs Bunch.
You would be a band. You're,
Yeah,
you're
family
a
band.
band.
You already have half of you.
Yeah,
You already have half
y'all
of it.
are
In
bands.
there.
Yeah.
You too, because Taylor can sing.
It's true. And Hudson, he be drumming sometimes.
He drumming.
Drumming and strumming.
He's part gorilla though. You know, from Wednesday night.
Joker jumping on.
He kept look. He was here early, and he kept looking at me. He was like, "Did you know I'm a gorilla?" And would jump from couch to couch, and I was like, "Oh, are you?"
I was like, dude, chill out. And he's like, whoa. And there was no chill. And him that day, yeah, I'm going with family band too.
Yeah.
You already have half the family band together too. You got the drummer, the singer, the guitar.
Yep.
Now get your mom to. Would she play a
Mom
tambourine?
sings too.
Oh yeah, that's right. She used to be in
She used
choir.
to sing in the choir.
I didn't know that. You can get her a tambourine.
Yeah,
To be
she
in
could
a
do
family
that.
band.
Like Cher.
Yeah.
Sonny and Cher.
Yeah.
What
But
did
it's-
you say?
That would be.
I said TV series because we know
Hey.
our singing and music ability ain't gonna get no better.
Oh, come on, Gramps.
Yeah.
You can
Still
sing with
be in it,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Let's start an upstairs band. You guys
Oh, wait.
join in with us?
Guys, can we get a TV show? I think we should.
Oh, that would be fun.
This is close enough to a TV show though.
Yeah.
Now that we have the YouTube.
Well, we've got the Emma and we've got the Grace. Meow.
That's what a gnat in your ear sounds like, guys. Little ASMR for you.
I'm scarred to see all of that.
Some people watching this are probably like, "What is a gnat?"
Yeah.
And by the way,
come to
it's
South Georgia
It's
and
this.
you will find out.
it's also spelled Gnat
Gnat.
too.
It's Gnat Day.
Why?
We have a
Why?
We have a Gnat Days festival.
Yeah, who in the world has a bug festival?
A book
Anyone in South Georgia.
And
It's
we have
either a fruit
wildlife festival.
or an animal.
Wildlife festival.
Rattlesnake Roundup.
I was
The
the
Peacock
I was
Festival,
Little
the
Miss
Rattlesnake
Wildlife.
Roundup, Mule
for
Day,
y'all.
Mule Day. Yeah.
Mule Day.
Peacock Day,
Mule Day.
Nat Day, Grits Day,
We have
Grits
a
Day.
peanut
up
festival
in
too.
Cordele area.
Did you say that?
Watermelon
Do
Festival.
the watermelon crawl. Alan Jackson song in it. Why though a bug festival?
Tracy
Gnat
Lawrence.
Days. Is it Trace Lawrence? Why did I think Alan Jackson?
It's not Alan Jackson.
I feel like Alan Jackson totally covered it.
Tracy Bird.
Yeah, that's his name.
Tracy Bird.
Bird.
I got it all wrong.
Bird.
You at least got the first name right. No, you got a random minute for us.
Is it random minute time?
I think it's a random
I've
minute.
been waiting for the random
All right,
minute.
let's do it. By the
What's
way,
up?
you can watch 40 minutes of this from last week.
Yeah, full 40 minutes worth of random minutes. Catch up on all the random minutes we've had this season. But anyway, welcome to Noah's Random Minute. I'm glad you're here with us today. Yes. Random fact number one, this is a freebie for you. I wear contacts. That's why I have my glasses on today.
Yes.
I'm not wearing my contacts.
This is the first time
I've had
getting to
about-
see
had
the
about
contacts.
15 people asked me about that this morning. So anyway, that was random fact number one. But we'll start off with a couple other random facts. I got Gramps, Lori, and Grace to all give me a random topic to discuss. So we're going to talk about random facts, and they asked for these. So Gramps just recently went to Panama, like we
That's
talked
right.
about. So he gave us the topic of Panama. And
See if I know these facts.
yeah. You might. Peyton said y'all watched a 45-minute documentary about the Panama Canal. So
Well, we'll have to discuss that with Peyton when she's on. But I did. Peyton did not.
okay. Well, you may know this because this random fact is about the Panama Canal. Did you know when they were building the Panama Canal that roughly 25,000 people died during its construction
I knew you
Yes,
were gonna
I
say
knew
that.
that.
due to malaria and yellow fever?
Right.
Aw.
That's crazy.
When the
That's so
French
sad.
started trying to build it.
Hmm.
Did you learn that in your documentary?
I did. Well, I've been
Okay.
over there several times. So,
Oh,
you know,
got
my
it.
12th trip to Panama with our church plant.
Wow.
So,
What is the difference in yellow fever and red fever?
I don't know.
The color.
I don't either.
I've never heard of red fever, I don't think.
I just figured that was like normal fever. You know, you get red.
I don't.
Anyways,
I've never even heard of red fever.
Anyway.
Or you the PA? What's the red fever?
I
Yeah,
can't say
Dr.
I've heard
Bentley.
that one.
I just made it up.
Mhm.
Here is
All right.
another random fact for you. This one's for Lori. Did you know that Lori brought up tennis shoes, and this is her random fact. Did you know that sneakers get their name from stealthy walkers. So the term sneakers originated from the quiet and stealthy footsteps that the shoes produce because of the rubber soles, because people could walk around without making sounds.
So they were sneaky.
They were sneaky.
But sometimes that's not true though, because they squeak.
Yeah,
Like,
if you step in like an ounce of water, it's like
Start squeaking.
Squidward or SpongeBob all day.
yes.
Or if there's a Coke spilled on the floor and you hit it, then for the rest.
Yeah.
Like when I walk across to work in the rain and then I get inside, like you can hear me coming
All
down the whole
day.
entire hospital.
I guess like maybe the shoes they had before sneakers were like really loud.
That's because, at one time men had high heel shoes.
Yes, that is true.
They were clunkers.
That was a random fact.
Which Lauren knew that one.
I'm starting to put all of this together.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these random facts pay off.
So people
You
could
think
hear
I'm
you
kidding.
coming, so they got them some sneakers to sneak up on you.
That's right.
Unless you're a basketball player, those are not sneaky.
Those are squealy.
Every time we go down. Anyway. all right.
And here's Grace's random fact about gas stations. Did you know that KFC originally started as a gas station?
I did not know
That
that.
might be concerning.
KFC.
Back in the 1940s and 50s, the chain's founder, Colonel Sanders, owned a gas station where he also sold his chicken dinners.
So we have the original KFC here in Camilla at the, what'd y'all call it? The Stop and Shop?
The
Stop and
Stop and
Rob?
Rob.
Rob. That
Stop
is
and
not KFC. That is
That's Chester.
Chester.
Yeah.
That's Chester's chicken.
But you're
Chester.
talking about the KFC reminded me that, no, Holden, had you talked before about the McSpaghetti?
Noah talked. I think that was one of the random minutes
Yeah.
a while back.
We did one on McDonald's.
And in Panama, I found the
McSpaghetti.
McCrispy.
Oh yeah, the
chicken leg.
crispy chicken.
Fried chicken
That
leg.
one
at
piece.
McDonald's
Let me get
in
that one
Panama.
Let me get that one piece chicken.
Unfortunately, Gramps did not get to try the Mac spaghetti while he was there.
No, they didn't have that. It was the McCrispy.
Question: if they would have had the McSpaghetti, would you have gotten it?
Probably not.
I don't think I would ever do that.
Mixed-
Bro, I would have to try it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I would have to try it just to say I at least
Yeah, but
tried
we
it.
had been,
We
we had been a week
Skitty.
on mission, and we were
Skitty.
finally getting back. We were just ready
Let me
for
get
a
that
hamburger.
Max
or
Skitty.
something.
That was great facts, Noah. Thank you for those.
Yeah, those are good.
Which has really got us.
That Max Skitty.
Which is really kind of interesting.
Mac,
because you
Mac
found
Skitty, your
McSpaghetti
team ain't
and I
even
found
ready.
McCrispy. So now we're wondering. I'm wondering how many.
What other country do we
Yeah,
need to go?
what other
China.
countries and what did they have? I guess we could. Where did you find the
I need to
McSpaghetti?
ask the question.
I think
Philippines?
Philippines, yeah.
Is that where it was?
I guess we just need to start checking out Peru and seeing what their McDonald's carry.
Wonder what they'd be
I love
like
that
in Jamaica or
McDonald's
something.
is stirring this adventure.
I know we started with KFC. Where did we end up on KFC?
With chicken.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how we ended up on the chicken leg.
Squirrel.
Yeah, I did that a lot.
Anyway, that was my random minute.
Yeah. Dong 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 dong. Cut it out. How does he do that?
I was
How's
gonna
Joe do
say
that?
I
Cut
said
it
something
out.
random
Wait,
so that
who
you would
does
know to
that?
look for that.
Who does that?
Cut it
Joey
out.
does
Joe.
that.
Yeah, that's what it's
Full
called.
House.
Okay.
Is that how he does it? Cut it out.
Yeah.
Is it that?
Cut it out.
What does this mean?
That's
It
it.
out.
That's
I
it.
just thought it was thumbs up.
I don't know.
Do you guys have any kind of stories or anything for us? I know, Gramps, you have to save your story time for Panama. Is there one thing you can give us from Panama that was awesome?
We did do zip line.
Yeah, big boy.
We're gonna have to share that
Haven't
video.
ever
when
done that
it comes
before,
out.
but 2.5 hour zip line tour.
Oh my
So
goodness, that was a
kinda
long. That was
wild and
long.
crazy. Yeah, but it was fun. We'll get to tell y'all more about that.
Did y'all have to?
Thank you.
Did y'all have to go far to go ziplining, or was it pretty close?
No, I mean we went to Boquete, so that was from distance from Volcan where we were.
They didn't have any Mac spaghetti there either.
Mm.
Okay.
No Max
But
Skitty.
anyway, we just knew about the place already, so it's one of the places we visit when we're there. So
Ziplining, that's
we just
definitely
tried
fun.
out the zip line.
But we also had we've had VBS since the last time you guys came on, which was fun and exciting. Miss Laura, you're one of the directors, VBS directors. Is that what it was? I guess that's what you call you and Miss Dawn are the directors of VBS. Feels very official.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
we had a lot of fun too. I think-
Glad.
I think it was exciting, and it's always one of those when you get done, it's very rewarding, and then afterwards you go, I'm exhausted.
I don't want to look at VBS for a year. Is
Yeah.
what you think?
I guess that's a good reason that it comes once a year.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
Once a year. All right. Y'all ready to raise the meter real quick?
Sure.
You singing it for us?
Oh, I was just checking around, y'all.
Really? I thought you were going to sing it.
You're
Okay.
singing today?
I had it already.
Hit the button.
All right.
We fixin' to raise the.
Coming mid-yawn.
We fixin' to raise the.
Meter.
Meter. We fixin' to raise the meter.
All right, we're here with the raising the meter. This week's topic, what we're going to talk about is just leadership.
Oh.
That's a good one to talk about, I think, with all of us up here. as
Raising the
leaders.
meter with the leaders.
Oh.
My brother done started spitting over
I'm
here.
a poet and didn't know it.
I'm trying to tell you. Do it one more time.
We're going to raise the meter with the leaders.
I ain't even clicking the button when we leave this. You just going to sing us out with something.
Okay.
It was like, just click the button. Let's move on. So anyways, that's what we're going to talk about today is leadership. And oh, here she goes.
We've lost Grace.
Not again.
We always lose her at some
I'm
point.
good. I'm good. I'm together.
Oh.
She's a goner.
Hey, question.
And
So when I grew up in church, I would have moments where it's the worst time in the world to think about the worst things in the world and to want to laugh. The preacher is up there. I mean, just
Every head bowed,
Oh my
every eye
gosh.
closed.
and you're sitting over here just going, trying not to laugh. Do y'all guys? Has that ever happened to y'all?
I do
Yes.
that now.
Yes.
That happens to me now.
You know, I just
No.
thought about this is totally random.
Go ahead.
And this, I'm
We've
sorry.
already done your
to-
random minute.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Sorry.
Give us a fourth one.
Now that
Noah.
we're all together, and we just saw Inside Out the other day. What emotions would each of us be?
I like that.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of
Gramps
funny.
is anger.
Hey.
No.
I'm just
Um,
kidding. I'm just
I feel like Gramps would be nostalgia that comes out of the.
I don't even know.
So
the new
there's
ones, though.
joy and then sadness and anger and fear and disgust. And then
And anxiety now.
there's anxiety.
Is this is this spoiling the movie?
No.
Okay.
No, there's ooh.
Not me. You.
Anxiety, embarrassment, boredom, and envy. That's
a lot
the
of
new ones.
It's a lot to choose
But
from.
nostalgia is the one that comes out and is like, y'all remember that time?
Yeah, could be.
Let me think. I can't think of who we all are.
I
Because we
need
all
I
have
need
moments
a list
of
to pick
each.
from.
Yeah,
Everybody has moments
I
of each.
think, aren't we all supposed to have all those emotions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Anyway, it was a stupid question, guys.
I thought it was a great question.
And trust me, we have all of
Yeah, we all have this moment.
What do you think is probably like the top though? Like, what do you do? Like, what are you the most? I think
Yeah, I
hopefully
guess
most
that's kinda
people would
what
like
he's saying.
joy.
Which one would we have the most of?
Yeah. What do you exude most?
Tired.
What's the one? What's the dude that has the bow tie? The purple guy?
That's
Fear.
fear. Yeah.
That one's so good.
Who do you
Probably
think
me.
that was?
Did you see that? It was a TikTok, and it was like each one has a little bit of the next one
In
in
them?
them. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It really was so good.
That's
You can-
from the
if you-
second movie. They all have a.
I
If you
think
dig
it's the
deep
first
into
one,
it,
too. I
you
don't
can relate it back to like Christianity.
Oh, that's right. Because the first one, like some of the core memories, they have multiple colors. Is that what you're talking about? Like they'll be.
Well, like the red one. Well, I don't. Okay, so for example, Joy is yellow, but she has like blue in
Like
her
her
dress
hair
and her
is blue,
hair,
yeah.
which is sadness. And then like
Oh,
purple. One of them
So
wears like a
kinda
green
blend
bow
sadness
tie,
together.
which is
fear.
what's her name?
Envy.
Disgust. So like they each have like a little bit of the other one, and then there's also like a part where Joy's like talking to sadness, and she's like, "Wherever I go, you go. Wherever I go, you can go with me," because like there's always like situations that you can find both in. Anyways,
So deep.
Interesting. Now I am excited. Like I said, we're supposed to go watch it tomorrow. But I did one of y'all two just said it. You might have been talking about watching like a TikTok where they were talking about. I the two together. But did you say that there's like moments in it where it can kind of pertain back to God? And
You can make it. I was talking to some of my coworkers the other day who have kids that went and saw it, and we were just talking about how you can kind of make of it what you want to, but there's a lot of points where like you can relate it back to.
I'd seen somebody posted something. It might have been on TikTok where like it was definitely pirated because they were in the movie theater filming it on the big screen. You could definitely tell. But it was a scene with anxiety on the board, and I was like, "That's pretty good." So I'm gonna have to check that out one.
If you look at it with that mindset, you can kind of find it, but they're not gonna like put it out that way. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. For whatever reason, don't do that. So, anyways, all right. Back to leadership. All right, I do have one question before we really dive into that, and this is a Holden question because this happens to me. Okay, I thought about this driving in the tractor all by myself.
Oh,
anyways,
good.
Is it weird?
Yes.
For sure.
Isn't it weird how back in the day, all right, so like right now, we look at stuff like in this room and it's like, this is pretty bright and everything, but all we see as videos back in the day, it looks dingy and not very bright and not very exciting, so to speak. But even back in the day, everything was just like this in your eyes, but all we've ever seen is like a different version of that through a camera lens. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Chris is like, nope, don't know what you're talking about over
Like
there.
the camera wasn't like you couldn't catch as much.
Yeah, you couldn't catch as much, and it wasn't clear. It wasn't HD like it is now. But back in the day, everything looked just like what we see through our eyes now. But now we have never seen that. All we've ever seen back in the day is stuff that's black and white or stuff that's dingy looking. It's not bright. It's not colorful. You picking up what I'm saying now?
I got it now.
I just thought that was kind of weird, or kind of not weird, but wild.
I have thought about that before.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It is strange for sure.
Yeah, because I like think about
it's kind of like
the moon landing and everything. The moon landing was literally black and white, and we're like, man, that looks terrible. But in their eyes, it was as vivid as it is as us sitting in here looking at each other now.
Yeah.
I think some of it would go back to like if you, the Andy Griffith show, if you watch it, it was black and white, but they've come out with the color version, and you realize, oh, wait, that was a lot more.
Yeah. A lot more going on there, which I know like nowadays
eyes,
things are definitely brighter now, but
you know, when they went on the set, they saw a police car in black and white, and we saw it in black and white on the TV, or the dresses and everything was black and white, but it came to life. That's what they were seeing every day.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
I feel like it would be really weird to have color on like this and us be recording and all.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it shows up on TV, like if you're talking about Andy Griffith, like you said, they recorded all of that. They saw what colors and everything they had on. But then they get to, they watch it on TV and it's all black and white.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there like, what?
Yeah, that is true. I never thought about that either, because you are sitting there and it's like, oh yeah, this is normal for us, but then it's on TV and it's black and white.
Like I can't imagine us doing this and recording all this, and then on Wednesday when it comes out, we turn on YouTube and it's all in black and white.
I think
that would be kind of weird.
I'm gonna make this one segment right here just black and white, just so we can look at it and go, that's what it was like back then, I guess.
When you're airing this, just take one section of it and get it to be black and white, and
like half of the screen.
Yeah.
I saw where that was when black and white went away and color came in. I don't know what was on TV. You might be able to tell us, but like it came across.
Not quite that old.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
They had color TV when I was born.
But anyways, they had like it came across the screen. Is that true? Like that's how they did it?
Well, I mean, that's what I've heard.
You've heard or what you said?
I did not actually experience it.
I'm sorry, Gramps. I wasn't trying
Can
to make
you really
that old.
take us and make it black and white?
Yeah.
Howdy, Holden.
Yeah.
This is
Hello, I'm
black
Opie
and white
Taylor.
TV.
What are you guys doing in black and white? It's crazy because right now you're going to be watching this and it's going to be black and white, but the headphones Lori has on are bright red. Like my shirt is bright red, and so are those headphones. But they're going to be
Dark.
I don't know. Would red will be more white, wouldn't it? It'll be
I think
darker.
it's gonna be darker.
Interesting. Now I'm going to be curious of what color everything is when
It's gonna be weird.
time comes. All right, so leadership is what we're talking about here today, and let's get into it. How did you guys decide to become leaders in your lives?
Oh gosh.
Wow, that was a really big switch up there.
Are we like going down the line?
Well, there we go, right into this one.
We can start with the leader himself.
I guess you're called to it in a certain way. I don't know. It's not like I just woke up one day and said, I'm going to be a leader. But it's just like for me back at my home church, it was just they needed a position filled, and you started, and then if you did it well, kind of led, and kids liked it or the youth liked it, and they're like more of that. So you just kept going and growing in that, and then the next thing you know, everybody's looking at you, hey, what we're going to do? And you are the leader then, and God just, I would have to say, God just calls you into that.
Yeah.
And how he does that may be different for each person, but for me, I just started helping out in teaching VBS or running the sound room at the church, or then wanted the youth to have something more to experience, and went to our pastor and asked if we could take them to Super Wow when I was at Mount Olive in Moultrie, and he finally said, yeah, you can do that. And so then start leading the trip, and then you go on it like we've done with some of the Fuge camps, and come back and it's like, man, that was a great experience. We got to do that again.
Is Super Wow the equivalent back then to what Fuge now is, something like that, like a youth camp or retreat?
Well, it was a youth camp. It was one of the first ones that I heard about and knew, but it was over at Jekyll Island. So it had the conference time, but you had a lot of free time with your group, and that was a little bit more difficult because it really wasn't times to grow, and you're having to deal with a lot of other issues and people wanting to do different things. So when we finally moved and transitioned to Centrifuge or Infuge, that's better because it's a little bit more programmed, and there's something to fill every minute, and you're not having having to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
So
gotcha. How about you, Lori?
Like the story of like how we started.
Yeah.
Storytelling. I feel like I've told mine before, but I was in youth.
Maybe so.
And I was a senior. Me and Camilla Green we were at that point really good friends. And we had just started our senior year, and she went to church here. She grew up here, and I grew up at another church in Camilla. And she was like, hey, like, it's the first week of the school year. Like, I really want you to come to church with me on Wednesday because there's nobody else my age, and there's a lot of younger girls that I want to be present for. There was like 4 of them. And she was like, I really want to be there, and I think if we go together, like, that would be so cool. And so I was like, okay, because, I was like wanting to make a little bit of a change. So I came with her that week, and we kind of stuck around. Gramps was our youth leader, and it was Gramps and the 2 of us, and we had 2 guys, and then like 3 or 4 girls that had just started 7th grade. So it was literally just 7 or 8 of us, and so it was really cool, like, to grow with them. And then I just loved the group. And when I went to college, when I was ready to come back home, I was like, I want to stay involved, which I went on trips and led throughout college. Whenever we were on breaks, I would still come back and do like the winter and summer trips. But then when I came back, I was like, I just want to be more present. So I feel like that kind of opened the door.
And again, I think Lori's was kind of a God thing too, because she was that youth person. But then as she got on into college, and I was having to go with some of those younger ones, there was nobody really available at the time, parents or whatever, to go. And I was like, Lori, can you go and help chaperone? And that's kind of God's call in. And she was like, yes. And then next thing you know, it's you got to lead. Let's go.
It was really cool because I feel like Gramps opened that door for me, and then it led my sister, who's 4 years younger than me, here. She ended up coming whenever I did, and she did all of her. Well, she finished up she started in middle school here as a youth member and went all the way through high school and was really involved, and now is back as a volunteer as well, which has been really cool to see. So kind of led that path. I think that on like a more broad scale, like when you see leaders like do it and love it, and like, they're led by the Lord, like it encourages you, and then like it's kind of like a ripple effect down the line.
How about you, Miss Grace?
Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah. So Gramps opened the door for Lori, and Lori opened the door for me. I had just moved back home from college, and Lori asked me to come on a random Wednesday. I was actually trying to find a church for my little cousin to start attending as well, and she was like, yeah, y'all can just come here. And she asked me to like sit up front with the other leaders, and we were praying, or at the end of the like service or whatever that night, she split them off into groups, and she was like, I'm just gonna pray over like and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and like praying over them. I was like, okay, does that mean that I'm supposed to be doing that? And I was just like standing there, and then all of a sudden I just like felt this like tug, and I was like, okay, I guess like I'm gonna go pray. And like I didn't even know these guys' names, so I had to like ask them their name, and I was like, okay, I'm Grace, like I'm just gonna pray over you. And that was it. And then I just came back the next Wednesday, and then the next Wednesday, and then I was a leader. Or I was a
Yes.
volunteer, and then I was a leader.
Yeah. Mr. Noah?
I would say pretty similar stories to those. I think Gramps was talking about, you kind of just start to do different things around, and then people, I guess, kind of look up to you in some way and all. And, I went to First Baptist my whole life. Went off to college and, thankfully grew there, my relationship with the Lord, and also had Gramps continue to kind of push me towards that and encourage me as I was there to go to church and get plugged in different ways. And we still kind of do that even today with our college kids and all. And I think that really pays off. But, also coming back home after graduating to work here in town and be in our community and all, I just wanted to kind of give back to that. And I feel like, the Lord has kind of opened that door for me to be here and helping in all the different ways that we do, to do that, and to be a leader in that way.
Yeah. So most all of y'all are from around here and everything, though. Grace, at the time that you were looking for your cousin, right, and then you kind of found it all at the same time. Everything just kind of came together and happened, I guess, at the same time. And I guess mine is sort of similar to yours, other than I guess I was going to church here for a little while. And kind of the same thing. I'd always been interested in maybe trying to help with the youth, but nothing ever worked out because we were always playing music and always doing stuff. Never really had the opportunity to do much else. Not that I don't think you could have said, hey, I'm going to do this and been able to do that. But we kind of had the opportunity come up, and I can't remember if it was Noah had asked me or I was like, hey, let's play some music sometime, or exactly how it happened. You might can help me remember that. But it was D-Now. No, it wasn't D-Now. It was fifth quarter.
Yeah.
What, 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah, not this past October, but the one before, right?
I think so. It's been, man, that's hard to believe, 2 years ago. But we played at D-Now, and I was sick as a dog at D-Now. I don't know if y'all remember that. But I was having to take a bunch of medicine beforehand for playing, and then me and you were doing a rec, I think even for that. But we did that first, and I was like, oh, that was fun, but it wasn't all about, it can't all be just about fun and having fun and everything, because there's a serious side to leadership, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in here in a minute. But I was like, all right, that was definitely fun. Now where do we go from here? Then it was just kind of back to the normal everyday, go to Wednesday practice and everything with the praise band and all. And I just kept, like Gramps said, it's kind of a God thing where you just kind of keep feeling called to something different or something bigger or something that you might not even understand what it is yet. And I think that was kind of that way where it was like, I do feel like this is something that we could do. And then I can't remember if it was D-Now that rolled around not long after, because that's October, and then D-Now is usually like February in it. And that was when I first got to play with Noah, and we played the first D-Now that was here. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I kind of see, okay, this is something that I can kind of feel this is where I'm supposed to be and doing things. And I think it was from that point on that it was like, all right, now I come on. And we kind of I taught with Gramps, and it was like, all right, I have the opportunity now. I can do this instead of just the music side of things. And I think Gramps and everybody was like, yeah, cool, come on. We'd be okay with having you, I guess, if you want to do this. So, but I think that's kind of all of our stories of getting into it, all of which is God led, and doors being open that you may or may not understand why or when at the time that it comes around. But I think that's very important to it. Like, it needs to be a God led thing for you to get into any kind of leadership, whether it's youth, whether it's with children, whether it's music, whatever it is. I don't think it's something that you should say. It's just like you said at the beginning. It's not something that you just say, I'm going to be a leader, and you jump into that, and that's what it is. I think it's one of those, it has to be kind of God ordained to you, like, to have that calling to come to, because if you get in it and you think it's just because you want to lead or you just want to have fun, you're going to find out really quickly it's not just about that. There's a lot more that goes into it than that.
Yeah, well, I guess the more we talk about it, it's not, everybody's not called to leadership. So it is that God ordained opening the doorway for that. But then I guess thinking back more of my story, growing up again at Mount Olive Baptist Church in Moultrie, our pastor, Brother Ronald Barrett, would always see potential and ask me to be a part, or, hey, can you go on the youth, like kind of what I did with Lori and knowing them, can you go on this youth trip with me? Need some chaperones. And there is a aspect of discipleship to leadership too. They come and start going, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, now you don't need to be doing that, hey,
Yeah.
this is what we got to do. And we've had those cases. Sometimes I didn't understand what Brother Ronald was doing or some of the ways my youth minister did things. But now today, as I've told y'all, and even sure, Lord, we've used some of my youth minister stuff to say, hey, here's how we handle this situation. So they discipled me in that way, and then you disciple in and you kind of learn. And then, as I said, I think that's one important thing that I think it just happened in our lives in a certain extent. But I think like what Lori was talking about with her sister coming up, and you and I have even talked about DJ, Emma, some of those, we're kind of now building that culture where God can call more into leadership because we're kind of making it in that place where we want to disciple. And hey, yes, you're graduating now. Next step is a leadership role.
Yeah.
And, some of it has to be volunteers, but there are some that are called. And not all the ones that we got right now will step up into leadership positions because they're not called of that. But the ones that are will have a way of them jumping in.
Yeah. I like what you said, because I think there's a lot of people out there that feel like the only reason that they should get into something or can help in any way is if they have to be called to be just to do this. And it's like, you should be called to this. But again, you have to have that same understanding of not everybody is, called to do this. Because I think there's a lot that goes into it, and we'll talk about that now. Is what all does it take from you? And this is kind of a tougher question. What does it take from you to be a leader? We're going to talk about youth right now because that's mainly what we deal with is youth. Because I don't think that everybody knows just what it takes to be a youth leader. Yes, you have to have the calling and the understanding of, okay, this is why I'm getting into this, but what does it take to actually be that leader?
Well, and also the fact is that, as we said, not everybody, because if everybody became a leader, who are you going to lead?
Hey, yeah.
So you got to have followers and leaders. But yeah, I think part of that is like we said, like in Lori's case and stuff, I needed someone to go and make sure they could keep an eye on I had the guys, but we had to have somebody kind of stepping up and leading and making sure the girls got to where they were supposed to be. And not everybody can do that. I mean, and let's just be honest, there's some people you could say, hey, I need this as a chaperone. If they're not one that can get up and get going, self-motivated, they can't be a leader because you're like, you'd be out there saying, where are the girls? And it's like, oh, well, she's not up yet. Well, she's the one that's supposed to be leading. That don't work.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I have not done that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because, in other words, I'm trying to figure out how you point out there's some not called to leadership. Hey, they're acting up. You've got to stop that. Well, they're just as much a part of the party as anybody else. That's like, that's not going to work. So I think that comes back to what you said of what does it take to be a leader. You got to be able to be responsible. You got to be able to lead. You've got to be able to say, no, not now. Do this.
And I do think there's a difference in like being involved in what's going on and being able to separate the two of which.
I think the hardest thing for us to learn, and then like the new ones like that will be stepping out of high school and into college, is like there's a separation that you have to learn, which is really hard between, okay, I'm a part of the group and like I'm participating in this as a member and I'm participating as a leader, and like it calls for different things out of you, and like to make that transition is kind of difficult because at a certain point you're not like their friend anymore. It's like when I started, like those girls, and I still consider them like in a way like my friends, like my younger friends, but like when I started, like me and Camilla would hop in we'd call Gramps and be like, we want you to take us to an escape room, and we get all the little girls together and we like jump in the car and go. But now like the relationship that we have with them is so different than it would be if we were still a member. Yeah. And to become a leader, like I feel like that's one of the hardest parts whenever you've grown up with a group of people, to make that switch. Like for example, like Carly, like as she goes to become a volunteer, like she's had to make the swap in the past year between like these are my high school classmates to these are people I'm now volunteering to lead, which can be difficult. I feel like that's one of the hardest parts whenever you try to do it with people that you're close in age to.
Yeah, it's really hard when the group is wanting to call at midnight and order pizza at Fuge and get some pizza.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and I was going to say, I was fixing to bring that one up too, and that's one of those situations where it's a hilarious story.
Yeah. And by the way, I wasn't fussing.
We've made it through, but I will say that was one of the learning places in leadership for Noah. because as we said and already joked about, he was up there eating the pizza, and when I came in, I could just see his face change when all of a sudden he was seeing me as the little bit more experienced leader. Say, y'all, this is not good because of the girls.
I was like,
and
but it tastes pretty good.
He was just oblivious, but I didn't even have to say anything. Lord. I didn't say, no, you did wrong. You handled that wrong. It's just when I got through, he came to me basically said, oh, Gramps, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, yeah, there was a lot more to this going on. And I think that's what we're talking about. That's where the leadership has to step up and say, hey, as I did with them, I appreciate what your heart was doing, but y'all cannot deny this is a mess. You've broken several rules. And actually, the more they've talked about it on the podcast, the more came out of verified everything I do.
No,
but it was just one of those where, they didn't consider the girls. It was just a situation where that's where the leader has to step in and say, guys, this was wrong. This was a good thought, but it was wrong.
Yeah.
I
would have probably been right there with you eating the pizza, dude. Not like because I would have thought just like Noah was, like in the moment, you're just like, oh yeah, we're eating pizza. We've ordered pizza. And then it's not until sometimes a minute later, you go, oh boy.
It's one of those hard places of separation. That's what I'm talking about. Like to have that mindset, like to swap that mindset into, oh shoot, we're not supposed to be doing this, and we just let them do it. Like it's kind of hard to like catch yourself in it sometimes because we are all so close to them, and I feel like they are the same way with us. Like we just all have such a good time together that it's hard to like cut it off whenever we're nearing the line of something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like
and it's also I'm fairly certain we've all gone through youth. Yeah. Like we've all been through youth, even if it's not in this program, and we've all done the things that youth does. We've had fun, and then the curfew comes, and you're either staying out later. You're like, hey, let's order some pizza or something. Just something random because it's like it's fun, and then you get to the leadership side of it, and it's still fun, but you have to. Like Gramps said, you kind of have to, and Laura, you kind of have to find that point of separation where it's like, all right, now is where I have to say that would be totally awesome. But let's check this out real quick before we make the call.
Good. It's been good for me too, because I mean, till y'all all came along and were able to become those leaders and everything. A lot of times for me, it was out there doing everything, and then I'm the only one that has to all of a sudden, hold that line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not. And then there's a lot of times it was like, man, they just think I'm terrible and I'm just a horrible leader and don't want them to have any fun. But I knew where that responsibility was. And it's been interesting seeing all of y'all come to that place where you realize, we can't just always let them do whatever.
Yeah. And I don't think it's that, oh, we're trying to, we're just trying to be all mean and enforceful. It's we want you to have a great time. Trust me. That's the last thing is we want to take the fun from you, But at the same time, it's like there has to be like not a force field, but there has to be this.
A force field.
Yeah. There has to be this difference of you can't just go and do what you want because we are in charge of you. And it's not that we want to be in charge. It's that we want to make sure nothing happens to you first and foremost.
Well, that's the main thing. When I was that age, when y'all were that age, it's like, you can just think, go at it all. And there has to be somebody in that leadership that says, no, we cannot do this at this moment, at this time now.
It's so hard because they're not bad kids. So it's so funny stuff like that, like ordering pizza and like that. It's not really bad, but it's not what we're supposed to be doing. So,
dude, my mind every time goes to the bubble bath.
Yeah, that. We didn't do that.
We did not get caught in that.
Maybe this year y'all should order some pizza and just don't tell the guys. I'm just kidding.
No, we're going to make sure they understand this time, as I had said, and Lori had said to them that whole week. We will get you the pizza. Let us know what night. Just don't do it in your own way.
Yeah.
Because Gramps literally brought us Chick-fil-A the year before. So I was like, why would y'all not just get Gramps together?
Yeah. All right, so the other part of it that is not always understood too is the kind of the extracurricular side of being a leader, because being a leader doesn't just fall on Sunday. It doesn't just fall on Wednesday. There are a lot of times that camp. I mean, you're going for an entire week. There are sports events that people are in, or accolades, the graduation and stuff that we try to go to and be a part of as well. One, because it shows that you're interested in what they're doing, but it also shows that, hey, we're here for you, which I think is a very big part of it. It's part of building a relationship with the group that you have in a way that they understand, hey, I can truly open up to this person when it comes to my beliefs and my faith and everything, and I know that they are truly here for me in that way. So I think that's also a pretty strong and important part of leadership that I don't think is always talked about or anything like that. If y'all have anything to kind of,
if you only spend time with them on Wednesdays and Sundays, like for an hour, how will you ever like form a relationship? And what we talk to our girls about is like, you cannot truly share the gospel with somebody. I mean, you can, and the Lord will work through that, but you usually can do more if you know a person. Like if I was to just walk up to you on the street and be like, you live a life of sin, you need to know the Lord. Like,
We're not going to take that seriously.
yeah, it's not going to be the same as us like building a friendship first, and then me being like, look, like this is God, like this is what my beliefs are, like I would love to walk with you through that. I feel like it makes so much more of an impact.
Like,
and
you know, it comes from a place of love when you know somebody and like they take time to get to know you and then share.
Yeah, so whenever like you just use that hour you have, like it's so hard to teach them, but also like form a relationship with them. You can't stuff it all in there, which is why like what we do outside of that is so important. Like catching their games, like we will literally like send schedules and like divide like what games can we make, like we'll go to games, like we'll like we text at least once a day about an event that like we're working on at that time. Like we are always like in our minds like, how can we serve the girls in a way outside of Wednesday nights? I mean the guys too, but like our focus is the girls because like that's what like we're called to lead. So like how can we serve them during this season outside of just a Wednesday night hour? So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of like time and commitment. Like I think that there's a lot behind the scenes. Like I don't say this to brag, but I do think there's a lot behind the scenes that isn't noticed, and that's okay. Like that's why we like to serve. Like we like to do that, but it takes a lot. It's not as easy as just popping up on Wednesdays and greeting everybody at the door, and Gramps is teaching a lesson, and then we all go home. Like we all have different areas.
I think it's also, like you said, it's that availability. To be a leader, you have to be available.
Right.
And so to go to those games and everything, then if they've got a situation that's like on the guy's side we've seen, and hey, Gramps, this is something that I'm struggling tonight. Pray for me as I get to do the chaplaincy on the football team. You know, I talk to him about it, and then I know that tensions can rise, and just like, hey, guys, I'm always on the side. If you need just, hey, Gramps, pray for me because that guy out there on the field is he's testing me. I'm about ready to just not be Christian-like with him, that we can do that. I think Lori and them got to experience that with one of the girls' softball games. They just had a real tense moment, but she was there, like we said, just to support. But that availability led to a leadership process that when even amongst our own girls, there was a little bit of a tension there. There's somebody there that they can turn to say, hey, what do we do here? And then that's when, again, that leadership has to step up. Not always easy. Just hey, y'all got to work this out. You can't just do this.
Yeah. And it doesn't always have to be a time of like preaching the gospel. Like Gramps says, it's literally just being there, like, which makes such a big impact. To be like, I went to your softball game, and like, I've never been to a softball game in my life, but I went to yours and it was fun, and you played great as far as I can tell. Like, it does. Like, my leaders showed up for us like that, and it made all the difference in our lives. Like, I love that we're that for them.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of times that kids, like, they look to the sideline or they look in the stands, and a lot of times it's like, is my parent here, you know? And I think it's one thing when they look and they see their parents, and that's a huge deal to a child growing up. But then to also look and be like, I go to church with them, or hey, that's my leader. What are they doing here? And then you find out afterwards, they come and talk to you for a minute. It's like, oh, they do care. Yeah. You know, they're here for more than just the Sundays and the Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Well, again, I even think about like when Bentley and them started the chapel service, they often tell me, Gramps, thanks for all your leadership in this. I'm thinking, well, I really didn't do anything much. But I'm showing up. I'm there with the sound system. But that I don't really count. But it is leadership to them. It's leading to help them do something they want to do. So it doesn't necessarily have to be always like bringing down the hammer or whatever. Just kind of. But it's being there to where when they need some guidance, you're there to just guide.
Yep.
But that does cost, because like you said, that means you have to give up time or energy, or there's effort that you have to put in to be there. It's not, let's be honest, it's not always easy in South Georgia to go sit at a ball field in 90-degree weather with gnats.
Yep. Especially after you worked a full day, and Gramps will ride through Phoebe, and he'll be like, I'm in the parking lot, and I'll be like, all right, I'm coming.
But it is worth it to be there for them and know, and that, I think all that's what I'm saying is all of that leads to the point that when like Bentley and them wanted to start chapel, they look to you and say, "Can you help?"
Yeah.
That's when they call upon your leadership, but they've recognized your availability, your desire to help them, to lead them, and they're willing to have that leadership. You don't have to force it.
I think a lot of the leadership that has been created that's in this room, and also on Sunday mornings, I don't want to leave them out, and we need to try to get them on. But you reap that benefit when you have chapel and stuff that's like that, because I've always said this, and we've talked about this on the podcast a time or two. It's like, are they listening? Are they paying attention? Are they soaking in what we're talking about? And then you see that when you turn around and you see us as leaders, that we have times that we each teach a lesson, or just Gramps is, and we're just kind of in the background, how much we not only get to learn in that time, because I still think there's times where even when Gramps is teaching and we're just listening, or we're on the side just making sure everything's okay, there are still times that I've heard stuff and I'm like, I like that. Or you get a point from it, or you're able to take something from that and you can use that as a leader in a way. But we're learning at the same time, and sometimes it's from that, but a lot of times it's from just seeing what they're picking up, and then they come to us, or they come to all of us in the future, like at a D Now event, and they're like, "Hey, can we talk about this?" Or, like y'all have had y'all split times now where we're doing breakout sessions. Yeah, thank you. And I'm sure that's happening with you guys too, as y'all are having these moments of kind of, it's that one-on-one essentially, without it being one-on-one, where you have that open availability where the guys are hanging out, just us guys, and we can kind of talk, and there's not the fear of, oh, there's a girl in the room or anything like that. And same for y'all, but you get to learn what they're learning in that same time. And then I think, like I was saying, you kind of reap the benefit of hearing, okay, they hear. They know what's going on. They're understanding what's happening. And I think that's a big sentiment to God, obviously, but to be able to speak through us and that, and be able to hear that back from them I think that's huge.
Well, as I said, I get to see that more than y'all do because of my job, but being able to go to chapel, being able to go to FCA, it's just amazing to stand there and hear them or watch them become leaders in their school, because they're the ones that's stepping up to the plate to do it. But then to hear them say, like Gramps said the other night, which is always good for me, I'm like, oh, they did hear me. But then sometimes it's like, Noah told us, or Lori, or Holden, and Grace, and I mean, they're listening to everything we say, and yet they're putting it in leadership in the school, and that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, it is cool. I think it's cool to see too, like how like the Lord influences our steps so much, and it ends up impacting them.
Yeah.
Like with one of the series that we did, I just fully felt like that the idea came from the Lord. Like I have no doubt about that in my mind. And then we played it all out, and just hearing like their parents be like, we want y'all to talk about this. And we're like, oh, that's like what we're talking about.
Right,
and then like later, like we sat down with the middle school girls, and we were just talking to them about their experience, their first couple of years. And one of them was like, I love the series we just did. Yeah. And like, you just don't, like some of them, when they say that, I'm like, whoa, like I've never heard you like, say anything like that. So it's just cool to see that stick with you. And I don't know.
Never heard you talk before.
I know,
Right.
No, for real. Like it's just neat to see, watch it all play out.
I think one thing that I've also kind of taken from being in the leadership role now for a little while too, is our kids make us want to be better leaders for them, and in
Absolutely.
that way. Because
it holds you accountable in some way. Yeah.
It in that way, like you'll have moments where you're like, nope, I need to be better, because I have to teach them. I have to be that role model, essentially, in this case, because they look up to you. They look up to everybody that's in this room as a leader. If they see you at church on Wednesdays and Sundays, they see you and they're like, okay, I see who this person is, and that's still who you should be on any other day of the week as well. And I think it's a good thing that they pull you to being better as well, and that helps a lot.
That's a big thing to discuss too, and of course we all talk about it all the time. And it's a good reminder for all of us. They are watching.
Yep.
They are listening. So when we tell them to do certain things, if we don't, they notice, and all it takes is one major slip up, and you can lose them too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're telling them to be doing this. They're watching to see if we're doing that. In other words, so it's that's the scary part of it. Again, the cost. You have to be constantly on your game. You have to be very careful not to slip, because all it can take is one bad step, and you could lose their trust and lose the leadership.
Yeah, and I would think I could probably speak for everybody in this room, but you guys can also voice your own in this as well. But I love it. I enjoy it. Every there's never been a day where Wednesday doesn't roll around, even if I'm tired, where I'm just like, I'm excited just to be here. Same thing on Sundays, and then when we go do other things too. But it's like I'm genuinely excited to be here, whether we're teaching or just hanging out, just listening, breakout sessions, whatever it is that we're doing. I genuinely enjoy coming here every Wednesday, hanging out with you guys, but also getting to hang out with everybody else.
Yeah.
I could be having like the worst day or worst Wednesday, and I could be drained and not have any energy. And then like the Lord just renews my energy by 5:30, and I'm just like ready to go, and like the music's going, and I'm just like, yes, it's youth time.
I try not to brag because it's not us, it's the Lord. But like, there's a man that I see that doesn't even go to First Baptist, no connection to First Baptist at all. Like, he's never had any family that went here. And every time I see him, like, we always hug. And the first thing he tells me every single time for the past year or more is, y'all just keep doing what you're doing at First Baptist with those kids. Like, it's awesome to see. And it's so crazy because I'm like, he doesn't have Facebook, so I don't know where he would even see. So, like, it's just cool to see that, like, it travels to him that, like, this youth group is doing so great and we're a part of that. Like, that's just, it's just so neat to see. Like, and, you know, we all need that encouragement, but, like, it just shows that, like, it's working and, like, the Lord's working through it. And, like, no matter how many kids we have over the next year, like, I just am proud that we continue to do it.
What's odd, like you said, in that is it's happening because kids have actually been led and they're changing the world around them. That's what it's all about. Yeah. So people have noticed the difference in them, which is good for us because that means we have to be following God in our leadership, and we're not just fun. We're not just, we have fun. We cut up and have a good time, but we're also very serious with the gospel, with how you live for Christ, and that it costs, that you can't just be like the world. So there's a lot of depth in there too. And I think I pray as long as we keep that up and the kids' hearts are there, we'll continue to be a strong family and group.
And I think it also helps that we all come together. Like, we can all hang out and do a podcast or go eat something or that, but we also kind of pick each other up from time to time, because I think there are times, like you said, that not only, you know, we come up here and the music's going and everything, but I think us as leaders also, we check in with one another. Usually I think all of us, it seems like we genuinely text at least one meme or one GIF a day, whatever it is. But we all kind of stay in contact and talk, and then when it's time to kind of get serious and get a lesson and stuff like that together, we all come together and talk about it and all that too. So I think it's very beneficial as a group to the way that we work, and we all I think we jive pretty well.
Yeah,
well,
bad dad jokes and all.
There's some groups that would be prideful, boastful, at odds with each other. You can't lead that way. Yeah. And again, if you just think about biblical leadership, those leaders had to be strong. They had to be seen as, even as the Bible talks about it, without reproach. So I think that's it. We all have to keep I think the reason we're able to be the leaders we are and see the differences because we are keeping each other accountable, and we can't just live any way ourselves. We've got to, in other words, God doesn't call somebody to be a leader that's not going to be able to be consistent, to be faithful, to be strong, to not just give in to the worldly things, which doesn't mean we don't have temptations, that we don't have our own struggles, but that we have to, that can't just be seen. We can't just sit back and say, oh, well, that's who I am and it don't matter, so I'm still going to lead. No, that don't work.
Yeah. I do think, like you said, not everybody's called to lead, but we're all called to share the gospel one way or another. And luckily for us, being called as leaders, we get the opportunity to do that with our youth. And I hope that they learn something from us and take something from us and know that it's God driven, and share that with the rest of the world too, like with Chapel and FCA and everything else that's going on.
We fixin' to raise the. We fixin' to raise the meter. We fixin' fixing to raise the meter.
All right. You guys were very still for that this time.
I was the only hype one on this couch.
Sorry. I
She
didn't
got
think
hyped
about
at 5:30 on a Wednesday. Woo woo. Let's go. Let's go.
it. Not this Wednesday, though.
Not this Wednesday. No,
Yeah, I
you
forgot
did
about
not
that.
say July 3rd.
That's right.
I totally forgot about that. Happy 4th of July out there,
Yep.
everybody.
Happy
It's the
4th.
4th of July. I'm finna pop these fireworks,
ain't
but
saying
not
it.
pop 'em on me. What police at?
Happy birthday, America.
Back up, Terry.
Happy,
Reverse
happy
tear.
3+1 day.
Come on, Gramps.
Fourth.
Give it
It's
to
the
us.
4th.
The 4th.
Fourth.
The 4th.
The 4th.
The fourth.
May the,
Fourth.
may the 4th be with you.
4th.
We're on the same page there.
Leadership also has to take ribbon from time to time.
Wait, what?
What?
Ribbing,
Ribbing?
like making fun of. And
Oh.
I've,
Joke.
Just brings us joy.
I've hit one of them old terms they didn't know.
Well, there was the dad joke
He's
of the
just
day.
joshing. We let Josh. Josh.
Ribbing.
Gosh.
Who is Josh?
Just joshing.
Just drinking you.
Joshing around.
Yeah, whatever y'all.
What do you guys think God's up to? While I pull up my dad jokes here.
I think he's like watching our podcast, like, what are these guys doing?
He's like, did I really choose him?
Did I really choose him for leadership?
I guess that's
What
one of the
was
things
I
I could
thinking?
share from Panama. We were in one of the churches over there in Old Town Panama. And of course, it's one of the Catholic churches. They have a lot of the statues of Jesus and different things. We went in one, and first one I saw was they had a statue of Jesus, and he was kind of like this. And I said, that's the most realistic depiction I've ever seen. He's probably sitting there and said, I'm so tired of these folks. They are driving me crazy.
Was he Tebowing? Is that what the
No, he's
you don't
just
know what Tebowing
had
is?
his hand. No.
He was resting.
Yeah.
Tebow
No,
was,
he
was
just
Jesus.
really, Grace, he really looked like he was at his very last end with people, and he could just,
He needed
I'm
a day
just
without
done.
people. He needed
Yes.
a day without people.
but
She
you
went with
think
the flip
about
phone.
Jesus, he is Jesus, he's God, he's perfect, but sometimes you got to think he's got to be like, I am so tired of these
Yeah.
people.
I just think about, like, because, like, he hears all, like, everybody's prayers, right? So, like, and people are praying all the time. Like, I just think about being so overstimulated. Like, people are just, like, praying all the time in your head. I'm like,
Just
if everybody could just shut up,
Yeah.
just be quiet. I cannot imagine how he handles that.
Have you ever seen? Is it Bruce Almighty back in the day?
That's
With
what I
yeah.
think about.
Yeah.
That is what I think about. Oh, the emails he gets, like,
that's
coming
cool.
through. Just
That was a good movie.
oh, I like this one. This one's good. Why didn't anyone want to fight Goliath? Okay, it's not that good. It seemed like a giant ordeal.
But
Let's go.
Giant ordeal.
That was kind of
That was
good.
good.
What was the joke you
I
had?
think I've already told it on here.
Tell it again.
Why can't Jesus wear jewelry?
Because he breaks every chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first
Yeah,
ones I
I've
think
already
that we
told
did.
That one, yeah.
That one's been a while. How do you know that atoms are Catholic? They have mass. Okay.
What?
The Adams, or I thought you said Adam.
That was a
And
science
Adams.
joke.
Oh, I see.
All right, here we go.
Right.
Why did Adam and Eve do math every day?
Hmm.
Because they were told to be fruitful and multiply. But
Preacher had a joke on that this morning.
Oh, yeah, it did.
I didn't get that.
We'll explain it later.
Okay.
It'll hit you on the way home.
on the way out the door. Hey, thank you guys for coming on the podcast and knocking the microphone over. She's
to
just
be
like
here
Gramps.
Who, me?
Nice to
Yeah,
meet
you
you.
sit-
Spent
take
a
it
lot
beside
of time
Gramps
together
long
over
enough
the
and-
years.
Take
Sit
a
beside
microphone
Gramps
to the
long
dome.
enough, you'll get knocked out with a microphone.
That's
Well,
funny.
this has been a blast.
This was so much fun, everybody.
Absolutely.
Have a great
Whoop,
week.
whoop.
Everybody have a great week.
Keep growing upstairs.
We'll check in with you next week.
See ya.
Peace.